everyone, Rose here. So I thought I'd just jump on here and give a small break from Christmas and try to whip out something a little bit easier and faster, because we also have Halloween to think about. And I was experimenting with these little candy corns. You can make them into a keychain. That's going to be optional. So what we're going to need is going to do some scrap yarn. This is Red Heart Super Saver in bright yellow. Red Heart Super Saver, I think it's called Pumpkin. And then this is just some Red Heart White. We'll also need a small amount of polyfill. This is probably enough for 3 of them right there, honestly. A pair of scissors, tapestry needle, and you can do the H hook, which is what I'm going to do today, or the G. And the difference is, I don't know if you can see from here, but it's just very, very minute. This is a G hook, and this is an H hook. So it's just a very, very small difference. So the H hook is a little bit easier, and the G hook just makes the stitches just a little bit smaller. So that's your option. So you don't really need a stitch marker, but you can have one on hand in case you need that. And I've got a couple of different key rings. Just your basic one. And then these two guys, when I do my chain, I'm going to see about just slipping these in there. Because usually you can get these in a little bit more. Well, actually, you can get these in a pack. This is probably the most cost-effective one. And then I know Hobby Lobby has these in a stack of 6. And I usually get those on sale, and I'm just going to slip it through there. So I don't know which one I'm going to use. We'll just wing it. And I think that's it. So go get your supplies, and I will meet you right back here. Okie dokie. Stitch marker at the ready if you need it. So you can do a chain 2 and do 6 single crochets in the first chain, or you can do the magic circle with me. Get this here, and now I'm going to put 6 single crochets in this ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm not going to join. I'm just going to go straight into this first single crochet, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in this first single crochet. So there's 1 and 2. In the next stitch, this white's a little hard to see, I'm so sorry. In this next stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet. So we did an increase in the first one, followed by 1 single crochet. And that's going to be our pattern. We're going to go from 6 single crochets to 9. So that is 1, 2, 3. This next one, we'll do an increase. 4 and 5. Followed by this next single crochet, which will be number 6. And then we'll do it again. An increase followed by a single crochet. 7 and 8. And last one, number 9. Okay, now we're going to go from 9 to 12. So in this next one, we're going to do an increase, which is 1 and 2, followed by a single crochet, followed by a single crochet. So that is 3, 4. Next set, 5 and 6 right here. Increase, 5 and 6, followed by 2 single crochets. 7, next one, 8. Now our last set. 9 and 10. 11, and the next one, and 1 more single crochet in that last stitch for 12. So just make sure you have 12. Now you have 2 options here. You can slip stitch to the next one, do a chain 1, fasten off, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this 12th, and that's how I'm going to join in my next color. So this is that 12th single crochet. I'm going to go in that 12th one, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to leave it. Now, oops. And now I'm going to bring in my next color. So I put it in my hand like I'm using it, and I'm going to lay it to the back to hold it down. And then I'm just going to grab it and pull it through. That way, when you do it that way, that 12th stitch still is white. Okay, and then I'm not leaving very long of a tail. I'm just doing a couple inches. Okay, and I'm just going to pull that white down. So now I'm starting round 4, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of these stitches, and that'll be 12. And I'm going to take my tails with me. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, here is 12, and it starts to bowl over like that. Tuck all those in there. Okay, so now for round 5, we're going to do an increase. We're going to do from 12 single crochets, and we're going to increase it by 3. So 3 into 15 is 5. So what we're going to do is in this first stitch, we're going to do an increase. 1 and 2. Okay. In the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet in each. Just 3, 4, 5. Next set, increase will be 6 and 7, followed by 3 single crochets. 8, 9, 10. And then our last set starts with an increase, 11 and 12, 3 single crochets, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, and we do have this little divot here, but we're going to hide it at the end. Okay, for the last round of the orange, we're going to do another increase, and we're going to go from 15 to 18. So we're increasing again by 3. So 3 into 18 is 6. So the first one will be an increase, 1 and 2. And in the next 4 will be 1 single crochet. So that's 3, next one 4, next one 5, next one 6. Okay, next set of 6 is 7 and 8 as an increase, followed by 4 single crochets. which will be 9, next one 10, next one 11, next one 12. Now we're on our last set of 6. Will be 13 and 14 as an increase, 13 and 14, followed by the last 4 single crochets, 15, 16, 17, and here we are on number 18. We're going to be changing our color. So go into that 18, pull up your loop, and leave the orange. Let's bring in our yellow. There we go. And again, got it looped in my hand. I'm just going to lay it to the back with my 2 fingers. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to finish that stitch, that number 18 stitch. And then I'm not going to move. I'm just going to do the same thing, just cutting a couple inches. I'm going to grab both those tails. And the start of this round, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and each stitch around, it'll be 18 single crochets. And I'll take my tails with me. So we have 1, 2, 3, and I'll meet you at the end of this row, which is row 7 with 18 single crochets. It's funny, as you guys may know, I went on vacation last week to Cancun with my family, and I didn't crochet at all. So this is really some of the first crocheting I've done, and boy, I feel really rusty. It's funny how a week of not crocheting affects your speed. Okay, round 8. We are going to do an increase. We're going to go from 18 to 21, and that is increasing by 3. So 3 into 21 is 7. And there's a reason for my madness of telling you this, so we'll explain it in a little bit. So in the first stitch, we're going to do an increase. 1 and 2. In the next 5 single crochets, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of those. So that's 1 and 2. This will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do another set. Number 8 and 9 as an increase, followed by 5 single crochets, 1 in each of the next 5. This will be 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Last set. This will be 15 and 16 as an increase. Last 5, 1 single crochet in each. 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, and you'll see that your line is moving diagonal. It's quite all right. Now for our last increase, we're going to go from 21 to 24, which is an increase of 3. 3 into 24 is 8. We're going to do an increase as 1 and 2, followed by 6 single crochets. So that will be number 3, next one, 4, next one, 5, next one, 6, next one, 7, and next one, 8. Next set is a repeat. 9 and 10 as an increase, followed by 6 single crochets. And 16. Last one. 17 and 18 as an increase. I'm going to finish up to 24. 18, 2, and 24. Okay, so this is what we got. 3 rows of white, 3 rows of orange, and 3 rows of yellow. So now what we're going to do is see how our line is like this kind of diagonal. I'm going to go ahead and single crochet like maybe 4 more stitches to get this line a little bit more even. It doesn't add to anything, so we're just getting it to even up a little bit. All right. And now I'm just going to fold it where that white meets, so that way it looks even on both sides without that line. Now there's a couple ways you can do this as well. I've experimented with, oh, sorry. This one I went under both loops, like I sandwiched it, and then I went through both loops and did a single crochet. And that's fine, but it gives a ridge I just didn't care for. So what we're going to do is this. It gives this kind of braided look. So how we're going to do that is we're going to be, you take a look at it and it's like we have these 2 loops. I'm going to go in the back loop. And then on the back side, I'm going to go into the front loop. And then I will be slip stitching. So it leaves the front loop on here and it leaves the back loop on the back. And it gives this like braided look, which I like. But before we do that, we are going to get our 7mm eyes. And I eyeballed mine. I kind of liked it just in the middle of the orange, and I liked them to be really close together. That way, no matter which way, if it wasn't a keychain or whatever, it would still look cute either way. It just looks like it's supposed to be there. But you could even go higher. I don't even know what that would look like. I'm just going to experiment here. I don't know. It looks like a duck. So I'm not going to do that. All right. So literally just going to eyeball this. I'm looking at the screen here. I think a couple stitches over. It doesn't look centered. So I'm going to just go back over 1. Yeah, that looks good. And I actually only have about a stitch apart, but even 2 stitches apart looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and safety eyes these. I didn't think about it before. I just have like a lot of these, so I use them. But you could even glue some googly eyes. There. All right, let's get back to slip stitching. So what we're going to do now, get back over here, do a couple more single crochets. There. Now, we're going to do this real close. This is the last stitch I'm in. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go in the back loop. And I'm just pulling it. I'm just going to grab as far back as I can and grab the front loop. And then I'm just going to slip stitch it. And if I line it up a little bit, I can get it to work. So back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Next one looks kind of lined up, so I'm just going to go back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Let's do one more. Back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Now I'm going to stuff them a little bit. I've done it to where I've like stuffed them and tried to slip stitch across, and I just didn't want to be messing with a bunch of polyfill sticking up at me. Yeah. I'm not stuffing it very much because I don't want it to be like completely round. All right, let's finish this cross. Tuck that down, squeeze it, and we'll just keep on slip stitching across in the back loop and in the front loop of the back. Doesn't matter how many stitches you have. Now I'm at the very corner. I'm still just going to pick up whatever and just do one more. Okay, so we're at the end here. And if you want to add the key ring, I went ahead and cut my tail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, before I do my chains, I'm going to go ahead and weed this through here. That way it's more flush. And now I'm just going to do chain 2. Just do a chain 2, and then right where I started, I'm going to go back in there, and I'm going to slip stitch and then do a chain 1 and fasten off. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to just hide this tail real quick. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's much better. I was doing these loops so that people could, attach it to their key ring or whatever. But if there was a key ring on there, it would just be too... Well, let me see here. I'm just going to do it real quick and see what it looks like. I mean, that doesn't look bad. And actually, you would attach that before you slip stitched. But I just think that's too long of a chain now that I'm really doing it. So if you did want to do the chain, so for people to attach it however they want, I would probably just do the chain 2 because it's definitely smaller and it keeps it more compact. So yeah, I like that much better. All right, well, it's your choice. You can do it however you like. But I like this. And I don't even mind this key ring either. This would be something I'd hang from my rear view, to be honest. Or my purse, actually, with the holidays coming up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. You know what I'll be doing? So I'm going to make a bunch of these with this one and then hang it on my purse and have people hang it on their purses. I almost said I'm going to go attach these to people's purses, but then that would be problematic, wouldn't it? My coworkers wouldn't care. Okay, so just wanted to pop on here and do this real quick. Give us something fun and easy. Give us a break. I'm going to start working on a tutorial for... I think this is going to be our next Mamma Jamma. This is my little cheat. I don't really know what I'm doing. Been experimenting with these Christmas trees. And there's no easy one. But I really like the ruffles. So I'm going to try and see about getting this started for our Christmas. Well, it's not July anymore, but Christmas season crochet along. Holding out for that one. And I'll see what other Halloween stuff. I'm thinking witches, so I'm going to try to come up with something with a witch. And until I see you guys, I hope you guys are doing great. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great week. Bye. Here's another little trick. I'm just going to go in any stitch coming out the side. Grab it. Blah, like that.